everyone. Welcome to another edition of Blue Blood on the Mainline. I'm your host, Curtis Sumter, and I'll be joined today by the one and only Justin Moore. Justin just returned back from injury after missing pretty much maybe 75% of the season to ACL. I'm sorry, due to oh my God, forgive me, bro, for a Achilles tear,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But has worked very, very hard to get himself back and is helping the Cats on their way to trying to accomplish another NCAA tournament berth. So what's up, Just, man? What's going on? How you been?
I'm doing
I
good. Appreciate you for
appreciate you
having
for
me
having
on the
me on the
podcast.
podcast. For sure, man. Definitely wanted to get you on here. I knew would be tough. I know you got a lot of obligations, but I'm finally glad to sit down with you and talk to you. It's a ton of things I wanted to just talk to you about. But first and foremost, one of the questions that I tell people all the time is things that I never was asked when I was, dealing with some injuries was just like, hey, how are you doing? So I just want to ask you a genuine question, not about basketball, not about anything else, but just mentally and like, how are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, that's a great question. I'm in a pretty good spot mentally. It's been a roller coaster. I feel like a lot of highs and lows, but I just staying with it and having a lot of good people around my circle that's keep pushing me and encouraging me. So not having any negative thoughts, and then my teammates and coaches is there for me. So it's been great, and then I'm just even more happy that I'm playing finally. Like it's not really about wins and losses. Of course, I want to win, but you just want to you finally step back on that court, and it's been so long. That's my joy and my happiness. So I'm in a good spot right now.
Absolutely, man. You tore your Achilles in the Elite Eight game. What
Yeah,
was it? The fun? It was Elite Eight
yeah,
game. So that was let's say what, third week in March or something like that, second week in March, and then now it is now beginning of March. But you've been playing like 8 games, so not even a full year. About, would you say, like 10 months or something like that?
yeah. It's getting
Um,
close to 11 months.
it was 11 months. Like, what were you doing? Would you say in your alone time? Because I felt that that's when things would get really, really difficult for me. I felt that I was better, more so around people, during those times. But when I would get that alone time in my dorm or whatever it may be, that's the time where you really, really sit down and think and stuff like that. Like, what were some of the things you would try to do just in your alone time to try to keep your mind and keep yourself focused and mentally strong throughout this time?
Yeah, I mean, a long time definitely. Um, Kind of just playing video games with my friends who back home who you don't really get to see all the time. If I can't be with my teammates, so playing video games, I'm talking to them constantly. Friends and family, FaceTime or stuff like that. Just keeping a positive vibe, and then just talking with them through things they're going through in life and what I'm going through. Just having people to talk to is really important for me while I'm away in my room by myself.
Coach Wright gave me some advice, after my second ACL. I tore it in the Sweet 16 game against Florida, rehab all summer. We got back to practice. We're like a month into practice, boom, tear it again. Then got to sit out my whole senior year, rehab all year, come back a fifth year. So it was a total of like 18 months. So I know what you mean of just being off the court and not being able to do anything and not being able to be involved with the team. Also seeing the team having tremendous success. Like, it was not even like everything, we dreamed of was coming to fruition. I'm sitting there watching it. And I can tell, Coach Wright could tell that it was killing me. A lot of people could tell. And he gave me some advice that I thought was something Coach Wright would never said. He said, "Hey, I want you to go be a student." And I looked at him because
Yeah,
I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like, 'cause Coach Wright be like, "Yeah, we here for basketball."
no, for
You
sure.
you know the mission here. And he told me, like, "Listen, like, I don't know, but I think you just need to go be a student." In a sense of just be free. Like, just make sure you're in class, make sure you're at your PT and you're there working out and things of that nature. But don't worry about anything, like whatever it is. And I actually, became a little bit closer to God during those times because I was trying to find things to take my mind off of everything and try to deal with these things. So I'm glad that you're in a better space mentally because that's key. I think now in today's world, People are more um, open to listening to athletes or individuals talk about pressure and mental instability or just things that's just not going on with them. It's not frowned upon. It's not looked as not being mentally tough or can't get through it. You need both outlets, and I think that was one of the best. That was the best advice he gave to me because I put too much pressure on myself. I think at the time, trying to get back and want to prove people wrong, So for you, my advice to you, as Coach writes to me, hey, you know, life is going to continue, like you said, roller coaster, ups and downs. You know the mantra, attitude. Um, don't worry about it, Justin. Again, continue to run your own race, and things will be fine, bro. You're an unbelievable talent. You know what I mean? But a minor setback, but already, man, you've been playing so well. So how do you feel coming back now? You getting your legs underneath you or what?
Yeah, slowly but surely. Not where I want to be yet, but I mean it's taking some time, of course. But I feel like each game that I played in, I'm just getting better and better and creeping closer to where I want to be. Plays that I usually could make, I'm not making yet, and then I'm starting to make them now. So it's a slow grind, but I'm loving the process.
How I became I tell people, the difference between watching me prior to injury and then was, athleticism. Was a transition, high flyer. I got hurt and my skill level got better. My skill level got a lot better because I couldn't jump over nobody no more, really as much. And in the beginning processes, eventually got the legs a little bit better, but couldn't really do the things, make the plays athletically, but my finishing got better. Left hand, right hand, post moves, step throughs, jump shot. The game slowed down. I've made less turnovers. Like I became more of an efficient player, and that's what I would argue to people. Like, stop looking at my athleticism right now. Like I'm, playing really good basketball right now. But when people used to seeing you a certain way, they kind of want to see you that way again, and not realizing that hey, it's going to take some time. What adjustments or you feel like your game, well, not adjustments, but what has your game gone to a different level so far as you can say? And I'm not talking about athleticism, but just as far as like observing the game and watching and seeing things happen before they can come on both ends of the court.
Yeah, definitely. Even I was already a pretty good IQ, but even smarter just watching the season go by and watching how teams play. You're watching so much basketball, so when I hop back out there, I'm not the most athletic guys, but you out there. You still got to be a little bit athletic. Like, it's not like I'm not at all. So,
Ah, you
um,
good.
you gotta have some explosiveness and pop to you where I'm still getting there yet. So I know the plays I want to make. I can't make it yet, but I can put guys in situations, and then when I get there, I can make the right pass or make the right player finish or take the right shot. So I think the game slowed down even more for me, just how smart I'm able to be now and put guys in the right situations.
It's unfortunate that, you and I had to deal with an injury to elevate our game from a mental standpoint. But that's basically I would say a positive of let's say like sitting out a year, red shirting, or like in those natures because you get a chance to see everything. You get a chance to see every mistake that's being made in real time, coaches correcting it, and it's sticking in your head like okay, when I get back out there, I know exactly how to be. And I felt that although it was my fifth year, like I felt like I played the best basketball of my career at Villanova because I was just so aware of everything. I almost felt like another coach out there. Like I knew what was going on. I knew exactly what coach was trying to say. Um, I watched, the freshmen who are now sophomores. I watched them for a whole year, developed, watched their games, understood their strengths and weaknesses, where they like the ball, where they shots fall, and then when I got out there, it's like we kind of instantly, clicked.
Yeah.
And sitting out that year, I was soaking, my own self, but I got so much better, man. So I'm glad that you back out there. Um, I actually got a chance to come to your first game. You played against Providence. I didn't even know you were actually going to be out there. And I remember sitting there and I'm just watching. I'm like, is that Justin out there? And it was like I was so excited, man, to just see you out there. I remember my first game back after a while, man. It was like freshman all over again. Tell me about that game.
Nah, it was special. We wanted to keep it on the low and not tell nobody. So like guys like
It
yourself and
was on the
everybody
low for real.
surprised. Yeah. So, but then once the crowd seen I came out, I mean the arena was electric. They was all felt the love. Everybody was there for me and cheering me on. So that felt a special moment. And then just being out there in the court, it's like my eyes got big. Like I'm really playing right now. So I had to kind of calm down. Like let's focus on winning and stuff. So the game kind of slowed back down, but just happy to be out there.
We are a part of a special place and tradition. You really feel the genuine love. And I just remember just throughout my tenure, so many being reached out by so many different Villanova alums all across the world with various stories of how they use me for like motivation and to put things in perspective. I had a Villanova guy come to me, him and his wife. They actually traveled to a couple games on the road. Like they were really, really good fans, not donors, but like really, really, really good fans show up. And they even showed up to our senior night. I mean, I'm sorry, they showed up to the banquet. And I was like, oh wow, like fans just come pick. And I'm, preparing for the banquet, whatever, got to do our senior speech. And before I get to my senior speech, guy comes over to me, introduces himself. We're talking or whatever. And he tells me, like, hey, I just beat cancer. So I'm like, oh wow, congratulations. That's a huge feat. And he was like, you know what was helping me get through for the last 2 years? And I was what? He was like, you. I was like, me. I'm
It's
like,
crazy.
I thought it was like something that was in. I'm like, he's like, no, like I've just been following you, watching you on the bench, watching your interviews, hearing how you're, remaining positive, how you're working hard, how you're not letting this, get to you. He said, I'm just watching you. I'm watching. He said, I'm always watching you just to see like how you react. He said, you give me strength. And his wife is there, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, why am I sitting here tripping about my knee? And this guy is bad. I can physically see that, he definitely was battling cancer. And I'm just like, wow, like, the effect you may have on people, and people are always watching. And it just brought me back to, our program and the attitude and next play. But I also thought too, like, because don't get me wrong, like I said, like you inside internally, like you're hurting, but you're still trying to put on that mask for for,
Yeah.
for people, And as great as it was to be an inspiration to others and to help them, I always want to do that by nature. Um, I always said like, damn, like I wish somebody could have just grabbed me, you know what I mean, and just took me away and just kind of been like more of a mentor and kind of helped me get through it a little bit. And the person who actually did that just a little bit, in their own way, which was Jason Frazier, because as you've heard the story, Jason Frazier, Jason was probably Villanova's number one recruit coming out in the coach Wright's era and had every opportunity, but just suffered through countless injuries. And his passion for the word of God and things of that nature kind of like trickled down to me and kind of helped me get through that. So it just put everything in perspective, man. Like these injuries and things we go through, it's not the end of the world. It's just tough at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys coming off that great win at Xavier the other day. I watched it, man. I was so excited to see you shoot that ball, man. You got one of the best pull up hezzies. I've always admired that. You and Caleb, the left hezzy pull up three. You was on fire, man. Getting to the cup, making good passes. What was going through your mind after you made your first couple shots? Did you feel physically just good going into that game, or
Yeah,
did
I
it kind of
did.
just
I felt
happen?
pretty good. I felt good at shoot around, earlier in the day. So I'm like, my Achilles was feeling good. My leg, I'm like, this might be one of the ones. You know what I mean? As a player, like I'm feeling good in
Right.
the shoot around. So all right, hopefully this leads into the game. And I felt good going into the game. One of the best I felt in a while since I've been playing off the injury. So just was comfortable out there letting the game come to me and then making those first couple shots. Just not wanting to force it, but if I got a good look, I'm gonna take it and still make the right play, and then everything was just clicking.
I like how the team. I mean, you're one of our leaders for sure. The team is definitely has more juice now that you're involved. they can feed off you. Like you're again, it's nothing like having one of your leaders out there going to battle with you every day. Someone you trust, love, respect, knows going to do the right thing, and you've given this team even more confidence than they had previous before. Um, I'm glad to see Jordan back. Coming back. Like this season was just crazy to begin with, man. The expectations probably were higher than what they should have been. But at the same time, this is Villanova basketball. Would you agree? The tapping at the stone, the
Yeah, yeah,
attitude, the next play, like the grind. Would you
yeah.
say that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we try not to listen to the outside world, but it happens here and there. And Coach Wright leaving, and I'm being hurt. We lose Colin and Jermaine, so there's a lot of questions there. And then we just wanted, if anything happens, just stick together. Like that's one thing I think we did a great job this year is like winning and losing, the bad things happen, the injuries, just sticking together and giving it our all. Like that's all you can really ask. And I think we've done a great job of that so far.
That's great, man. Now I want to get a little personal, but not too personal. Everything could be edited. Um, and there was a lot of rumors and things, with Coach Wright leaving was huge. Honestly, huge. It was definitely surprising and huge. I guess no one really thought he was going to leave, but he leaves. You're hurt. We understand what the dynamic of a college basketball, transfer portals, this, that. Um, like, how was the team, and not necessarily just you, like how was the team feeling? And in that regard, like was there some doubt of, hey, should we return or is this the end of an era type deal, or was everyone still 100% committed into finishing out, the assignment?
No, I was definitely doubt in the beginning for sure because guys never had Coach Neptune as a coach before, so they didn't know how he would be. And then having everyone having individual meetings with him to see what their plan, what he had his plan for everyone. So it was kind of sketchy in the beginning, but I think Coach Wright was always around and talking to us and trying to keep us together. And the assistants and stuff were talking to us. So I mean, we all had our doubts and was talking to each other about it, but we all love each other, and that's what kept us together.
Yeah, and that's natural. Like that's a natural thing. Um, because Coach Wright is the one who, is the head of the snake, is the one who recruited you, who's gonna, the leader. So you're playing for him. And if he leaves, it's like, okay, who's coming in? Am I going to mesh with them? Are they going to see me the same way Coach Wright see me? Because every coach is different. Every coach might follow some similar protocols, but they always got to put their own sauce on it. You know what I mean? So I totally understand where you're coming from, where the other guys were coming from. Um, on the outside looking in, even with that said, on the outside looking in, and it's just me being a little biased, I felt that our program was so strong. Our foundation was so strong. We built it just right that we could sustain a change in that regard and still maintain the squad. And I'm glad that it actually, still happened because um, Coach Wright, his his blueprint has been a success. It's been a model for success. And as we all know, this is a copycat world. Somebody's be successful, someone will do the same thing essentially, but tweak it a little bit. So I knew there wasn't going to be much change or things of that nature. But I'm glad that everyone, stuck together, and it showed that our brotherhood is stronger than anything else because those guys been through the trenches and the wars with, you probably felt more you probably would be more upset leaving them, you know what I mean, than going to fulfill something that's probably best for you. You know what I mean? And I get that. So I'm just glad you stayed. I'm glad you thought it was the best decision for you, and for your future. So it's just good to just have you back around, brother. See you on that floor.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, I got high hopes for us this year. I still think we got an opportunity to sneak by some people and surprise them, as you continue to get healthier and healthier. Um, so what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think this team has a lot of potential and a lot of talent that we're still not able to get there yet. And you know how we talk about being the best team we could be by the end of the season, and that's what we're trying to be. I mean, we early on we had struggles, we're still having some struggles, but we have a lot of basketball left to play, and I feel like we haven't played our best yet. So just keep grinding each and every day, each practice, trying to get better, and just get 1% better each day. So by the end of the season, we could make something happen.
I believe it. I'm not where I've watched from game one to now, and Mark's gotten better. Cam's got better. Chris has been put in different various roles. Slate's been asked to do various roles. Caleb was asked to be the man, which is good, to get that more of that killer. Good to see Eric, the ball thrown to him and him be a go-to guy. Like guys getting a taste of, to lead the team. So now when we got everybody back, everybody can just do it, everyone just, being a piece of the puzzle and just fitting in where they need to fit in. And it's like it's all good. Everyone's used to being in these spots, positions, time and score. And we will start to look like the Villanova of old. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. I always said like the next couple games, if we can win, let's say like three of them, if we could beat, if we got beat Creighton, if we beat UConn, I'm like, I said we win like two games in the Bees tournament, we're definitely in there, dancing in March. And then anything can happen. I mean, we proved that many a times. And everyone knows no one wants to see Villanova at the Garden. That's like a home game for us.
It
So
definitely is.
it's a home game for us. So the sky's the limit for us. It's good to see. Feel like maybe this year is probably what was needed a little bit for Coach Neptune too, in a sense of that grind, going through it, proving a lot of doubters wrong. Um, Starting the season with an undermanned team. So for him, this is a good season that he's going through all of this and seeing all of this. For you guys, the same way. Having success, not having success, staying together, injuries, you guys are getting closer, and then you guys are gonna do something special in the end. I just feel it. I just feel like that's just how things work out for our program, because we just have that blind faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. But Justin, man, like I said, man, I'm so glad to have you back. I won't keep you much longer. Um, Good luck this weekend. I'll be rooting for you. I'll be watching you guys, man. Continue to lead this team on and off the court. Um, and go out there, man, and take us back to that NCAA tournament, man, and redeem yourself. I know you got
Yeah.
you left some buckets on the table, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely, yeah, definitely got to finish the job for sure.
Yeah, you left some buckets on the table, man. Go pick them up real quick and show everybody, you're gonna be back. Now, I do have one more question. Now, I got lost in the whole sauce and COVID and all of this. Like, do you have an extra year, or are you done after this year?
Yeah, I do have a extra COVID year. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I'm just focusing on
Right.
it now, and I'll
Yeah,
consider my options after the season's over. But I do have an extra year.
most definitely, and that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out who has an extra year, who doesn't has an extra year. I see we're playing like the oldest team in the country, and DePaul. They got all like everybody on their starting five got like a master's degree or something crazy. I'm like, what's going on? So
Yeah,
just understanding like potentially what we could be, but understanding that you know, you got to do what's best for you, which I'm always gonna advise you to do, and not worry about anybody else. Even our family that we love so dearly. Sometimes you got to make decisions, for you and what's best on you. So with that said, man, I know you will make the right decision. And be looking forward to watching you guys this weekend, man, and go Cats, man. Go get that dub for us.
yeah. Appreciate you, man.
No doubt, Justin. Yo, you gonna change the hair up again, or you gonna just keep it? I was surprised when I seen it. I like that too, though. I like that too.
Yeah. I don't. You know, I like to mix it up, but I'll probably stick with this for now. I think.
Now,
I think
yeah,
I had to after the injury and stuff. I had to change it up. Just my get
right,
back to that grind mode. You know what I mean? I had
right,
to just
right,
had
right, right. I think that's when I first grew a beard after I got hurt. I never wanted facial hair. I got hurt, and I said, "Let me get this beard. I gotta look like I'm working." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just stayed. All good, man. All right, Justin, I'm gonna let you go, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tell the rest of the fellas I said what's up.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later.